Welcome back in, everybody, to the Nexus Gaming Series. We're here in Division B Northeast, as we've got Butte Holiday on the Brightwing for the side of amateur opponents. Cactus Ham going to be on the Malthael. Sonic's Bro will be on the Tychus. Saint Terminator, as I like to call them, is going to be on the Leoric. And E-Day is going to be on the Diablo. For the right-hand side, we have the members of Die for Catgirls. Scouthar is going to be on the Gazlo. We've got Teeth on the Rainer. Shamhat will be on the Stukov, Sir Noble on the May, and Sailor Twift on the Nazebo. We'll get into mid lane, check out our level 1s as I drank too much tea as we were loading in, and had to take a second right there to catch my own breath. Die for Catgirls? Absolutely! I mean, why not? Let them win already? Why? You don't want to hear me yell Die for Catgirls all day? I mean, did you not like hearing me yell ooh woo all day? And then there was oh whoa as well? God, that was man, I gotta talk to these free agent teams and the names they're coming up with. Like, I mean, there was one team that literally named themselves Huge Bandit Fans, and I'm like, look, it's so simple. Just name your team after my dog, and you'll probably have some caster bias on your side. But either way, we do have the Leoric versus the Gazlo up in the top lane. Back in our bottom lane, in our core 4 rotation, we are going to be seeing Sir Noble getting chunked right now. A lot of damage goes out, but May lives with a couple hundred health, and no grenade out from Tychus to be able to solidify the kill. They did go into that quarterback at level 1 for the increased range, as Terminator and Scathar, I think is how you say that, are going to be half health or per se. Actually, a little bit more so for this Gazlo, but seems like Gazlo's going to play the lane a little slow, forcing the Leoric to be a little further up in the lane, and that could potentially yield a gank onto this Leoric, but unfortunately, no rotations will come out from the friendly team, and this will just be the Gazlo losing a little bit of structural damage, but not much in this top lane. Our first objective phase will be in bottom, will be a Mortar Punisher as well, and we'll take a peek at that as it will be spawning in a minute and 30 seconds or so for contest. Cactus Sam stepping in on this Mephisto, trying to get some decent damage in with that Lightning Nova, as they did go for the static field, Furious Spark at level 1. Gonna keep just peeking up into this top lane periodically just to see what's happening with these players, and it's a nice hold for the Gazlo right now, not playing this too aggressive and not playing it too passive in the lane, just kind of letting things come to them, as they, as I keep saying, they're losing a little bit of structural damage, but we're talking a little bit of structural damage. It's not even that much. Yeah, exactly, Day. If you're gonna die for something, Catgirls aren't the worst. See, there you go, Softbert. Huge Bandit Fans was a cute name. Do you know what's actually funny? Huge Bandit Fans were originally named Team Red, or the Red Team, I think it was. Bless be the commissioner of CCL, Jules, goes, hey, my casters might not have a good time saying that, especially because if your team's on the blue side, that's going to be very, very difficult for the audience and production and the casters and blah, blah, blah. So that team said, all right, you know what? We're going to come out with a just perfect new name. Huge Bandit Fans. Easy, easy, easy. Wow, I can't believe it. The Gazlo lives with 60-something health in the top lane. That's, whoo! Gazlo, you're playing with fire right now, stepping back into that Leoric. Tychus and Brightwing will be grabbing the camp on the left-hand side. Phase Shift should be up and available for Butte here, and it actually will be, so I'd expect maybe Tychus leaves halfway through this, so that way they can start the rotation. Brightwing can just phase shift in, or make the slow meander as they need to. Actually, no. Okay, so Tychus stays up here to burn this down. Objective phase up and available. Skeletal Defenders slowly being worked on by this Diablo and Mephisto on the side of amateur opponents. Die for Catgirls, though, do step onto the point and start working their way through a few of these skeletal defenders. Mephisto utilizing that shaded Mephisto to step forward, and the camp in top lane, albeit late, is going to be pushing up. We also do have camp pressure through the bottom lane as well in favor for the side of amateur opponents. So playing this slow is beneficial, but playing it too slow will yield the enemy team that Punisher. So amateur opponents need to start grabbing more of these skeletal defenders, or they need to back off, or they need to go in for a team fight, looking to dive onto Sir Noble right now, taking a lot of damage. Does pop the cryo freeze. Lurking arm from Shamhat will zone back the enemy team. E-Day getting very low on this Diablo. No souls to reset, but still 62 souls on this large lad, and that will be looking... Oh wow, Cactus Ham. I thought they got caught out. I didn't see the original or the origin point for the shaded Mephisto, and Cactus Ham was considering to steal that regeneration globe away from the enemy team. That might have mispositioned them just a little bit. Great shadow charge from Diablo, and May ends up going down to the Tychus. That's a great counter kill for this objective phase, and this Punisher jump, they need to be careful with this one. Okay, Firestorm from Diablo will be the pull. And I always like to note this. I like the way that Diablo pulled up into the lane rather than down into the bottom of the lane. The reason I harp on this, it's a very, very small thing in my opinion. And maybe it's not true, but I find that if you pull upwards, the Punisher doesn't obviously prioritize your well, and you can save that, and your fort takes the vast majority of the shots. You can actually kind of back off and play kind of in this mid area between the first tower and the fort itself, so that way you're getting extra shots out onto the Punisher. Little tactic I've seen some teams utilize here and there, but I think it's beneficial consistently to utilize the opposite side of your well to pull the Punisher over there. By that I mean literally whatever lane you're in. So let's say it's this lane up here. You want to try and pull the Punisher towards the lower half of this upper lane or this top lane. That way the Punisher doesn't prioritize your well, and you're able to have that lane sustain as the game progresses. That's just me. I said it in the last Best of 3 series, and I'll say it in this one. Lane sustain is always something to consider, and it's a good thing to kind of harp on or have in your mind in these games, because if you have to back off and disengage, that means the enemy team has lane priority, positional priority, and potentially objective priority, since you're spending so much time disengaging to tap a well that that exists further away from the lane that you're engaging on. Either way, that's my little spiel on that. Let's continue into this game as Diablo finds a Shadow Charge, overpower. Sailor Twift will be the target, but not enough damage will be found, and Sonic's Bro getting low does end up going down to the Nazebo damage. Sailor Twift getting low themselves, but they've got the healing of Stukov, and they're just going to continue into rotations to keep building up this Nazebo stacks. We'll keep an eye on those stacks, and we'll take a look at those as well in just a minute, as we do have the other stats kind of coming through. We have to still look at our kills, deaths, and assists, as well as the healing coming in for both these sides. 180 people here? Hell yeah. Neat. Thanks for the pickup. Oh, my pleasure, Butte. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Good matches today so far? I would say so, yeah. I've never understood, what so meant. Oh, Oso? Oh, Oso, it was so there was a face with Oso's team name, and we asked them how to pronounce the, because essentially what was happening is anytime we use it was basically like an emote that the team utilized, as it was like a face, and we asked the team, because the face emote was actually breaking our production like text lines. It was doing a weird thing where it was literally like forcing a half line into the next column or something like that. So everything looked super wonky and it didn't come out right. So we asked the team, we're like, hey, your symbol doesn't work for us. So what's the way you want us to pronounce this? And my pal Vince, I believe, was the captain of that team and did tell us that Oso is the name. So either way, it was one of those emoji faces essentially. And that's what they were saying is the translation for it or something. I don't know. Hey, Ouija, what's up, bud? Oso, about Oso, exactly. Yeah, it took me a second. I was like, why are they asking Oso? I literally thought they were asking about like, oh hey day for a second, and I was about to be like, oh, I have to explain the day thing. But no. It was about one of the teams. Got you. Top lane is going to be having the camp grabbed on the side of amateur opponents. Diablo stepping in here right now, going to continue to build up. Actually, no, full souls currently for the Diablo. Gargantuan out from this Nazebo to zone back the enemy team. Full 10s are going to be here. I'm actually going to pull away the talent so we can see this engagement a little bit better. Hyperion out from the Rainer. Gargantuan is going to be at about half of its duration and half of its health. Ice Wall comes out from the Mei to zone back the enemy team. Durance of Hate goes out, catches the face of Mei right now, who pops the cryo freeze. There's going to be not a mosh pit, excuse me, a lightning breath out from E-Day, and that does solidify the kill into this Stukov. Polymorph chase onto Teeth, and Rainer goes down as well. Amateur opponents shredding through the enemy team, finding a triple kill for this objective phase, and I would assume with that, we are going to be seeing our blue team, amateur opponents, grab this objective and push on in with a Frozen Punisher through mid lane. Meanwhile, top lane, Gazlo is pushing back the Fallen Shaman, or the Bruiser camp, that was pushing up just before this objective phase. But the matches have been good today. The matches have been really, really good today. We've got this best of 3 series for you all, and we're gonna jump into the Halo 3 story campaign after this best of 3. So a little less casting than I'd like to do today, but we're gonna play some fun games with some fun friends later, and then we'll do a bunch of casting tomorrow. Lots of casting tomorrow afternoon. Maybe I'll start stream and maybe I'll do some replays again. I don't know. I don't know what... It depends on how I'm feeling throughout the day. Either way, we are going to be casting tomorrow, Friday, over on JMcG's channel. We are going to be casting the ARAM tournament that they've got. I believe it's 2 best-of-3s and a best-of-5 grand finals. So lots of ARAM maps for you all tomorrow afternoon. Frozen Punisher, I believe this is the second Punisher of the game, was won over by the side of Armature opponents, and will maybe, I was going to say, maybe find themselves this fort through mid. Minion Wave doing good work, and actually, the Minion Wave had enough of it. I thought Gazlo was going to be able to have the clear with the help of Nazebo. Speaking of Nazebo, currently sitting at 96 stacks on the baseline, as well as that level 1 Things of the Deep, which they will have that 10% spell power in just a moment. You're going to see it right there. You get 5 for the 50% and 5 for the 100 stacks. So, or I guess the 100%. So either way, that's going to be 10% spell power for this Nazebo, who only needs another, caster math, 72 stacks or so to be able to be ready for that Vile Infection upgrade at level 20. But rotations need to continue, stacks need to be grabbed, and until then, it's going to be preparation for our third Punisher, if I'm not mistaken, Arcane in the bottom lane. 14 to 13, 5 to 1 in kills. It's a close game right now. More so in favor for the side of Armature opponents. They've got a lot of control. They've taken down one structure through mid. They, on the side of Armature opponents, have this bottom lane opened up. So if the Punisher is won over by the side of Die for Catgirls, this will be an advantage push due to the fact that there isn't a gate to bait the Punisher over, and the entire team can step through with the Punisher. So until then, it's going to be trying to get some pressure out into the enemy team, get a little bit of soft push per se through this bottom lane. And on the opposing side, wow, I was going to say, they need to find a fight on the side of Die for Catgirls to be able to start to turn this thing around and find some experience for themselves, and exactly that'll be found into the Leoric. They go down, jumping that experience up for the side of this red team. An objective phase hasn't been announced yet, so Leoric is actually kind of in the pocket right here. It's a 30-second countdown, and Leoric just hit that mark, so it's easy enough. And Leoric also does spawn on the battlefield, so they are able to kind of cheat that rotational speed. But speaking of rotations, going to be coming up into top lane to catch the experience with the help of this Tychus. Nazebo, as I said, continuing to soak out between the lane rotations. We are going to see 16s first for the side of Armature opponents, and we will look through some of those other numbers here in just a little bit. Want to see a little parity on both these sides before that. I also just want to see the 16s for the right-hand side before we do this as well. Mephisto pretty much going into full Lightning Nova build. Not bad whatsoever. Firestomp build for the Diablo. I'm just skimming through some of the talents as well. You got that Critterize at level 16 from the Brightwing as well. Do have the level 13 Ice Block on the Nazebo, so that's going to be a great way to shut things down or stall things out. There's that Ice Block, as I was mentioning. Lurking Arm from the Stukov, stalling things out. Durance of Fate does connect onto this Nazebo, who does go down. Lightning Breath will confirm a slow... Oh, I was going to say confirm a second kill, but no, Sir Noble's absolutely fine. Phase Shift is forced onto E-Day. And Gazlo, free pushing in through the top lane, trying to close the experience gap, will be able to do so. I don't think Leoric can actually even make the rotation up here in time by the time the fort will actually go down. Gazlo just having way too much pressure through this lane, but even then, Leoric still needs to catch the wave and clear out this Shaman, because if left uncontested, that Shaman goes to keep front gate and takes that down, potentially taking down the keep itself as well. With Leoric showing in top lane and Nazebo dead, this is 4v4, so the members of Die for Catgirls could step into this looking for an even fight. Diablo and friends just going to back off slowly as they have the vast majority of these skeletal defenders, 25 and rising on the side of Armature opponents. Sonic's Bro playing in the bush. That's going to be an Ice Wall out from the May. No follow-up Blizzard out from her on underneath that as the Hyperion comes out from Teeth. Looking to zone back the enemy team. Leoric is coming in here, and Tomb's up and available. Catches Sir Noble, who doesn't have the Cryo Freeze. Tries to use the icing to get out, and will be able to do so. Gazlo with the Gravel Bomb, turning things around. Cactus Ham does go down, and this will be Leoric trying to Wraith Walk into Sir Noble, who had that sliver of health. Won't be able to find it, but the members of Armature opponents do find themselves the Frozen Punisher through the bottom lane. Excuse me, Arcane Punisher through the bottom lane. Top lane, periodic catapult pressure coming through. Just want to quickly look and see what they're doing. 274 in auto, so we're looking at just about 500 damage into structures from a catapult. Right now, Sir Noble being dove on, but a wonderful massive shove disengages the Diablo from finding any sort of extra setup, and Sir Noble's able to back off for now. Sonic's Bro did drop the Commandeer Odin, is going to be able to siege in fairly heavily with that one and doing a great job in that. Punisher still, it's actually just below 50%. Chernobyl backing off. I don't think Sonic gets the interrupt, but does manage to get one more barrage out from Commandeer Odin. Throws out the grenade, looking to sidewall. Punisher jumps onto the Rainer over the wall. Nazebo zoning back with the zombie wall. And it's looking like this is going to be just the front gate getting poked at here and there, but in the end it will be Armature opponents backing off, finding the fort through bottom, and a little pressure onto the keep front gate. Well played from our blue team going into our Infernal Shrines map in our second best of 3 of the day. How is Mayo is surviving with less than like a little bit more than 1% health? A good healer. That'd be my assumption right there. I promised it earlier, so let's go ahead and do it right now. Let's check out those other numbers, get an idea of what the damage, healing, and experience is looking like for this game number 1 in our second best of 3, as I mentioned. We're in the later half here. We're about 15 minutes in, 18 to 17 in our levels. Nazebo scaling fairly hard here. The last time I looked, it was just about under 150 stacks, so Nazebo should be on pace to be able to finish those out. Looking around for the camp timers as well. We do have 40-some seconds on this Shaman camp on the top right. We do have the Bruiser camp or Shaman camp on this left-hand side up and available. Might have a delay on that, but this is going to be a top lane Frozen Punisher coming up next. And Tomb comes out onto this Rainer. Teeth is getting dove on Gravel Bomb to try and turn things around, but the Ice Wall and the Lightning Breath kind of mitigate any value of said Gravel Bomb. Durance of Fate comes out from the Mephisto onto Chernobyl, but this time they live with a little more than 1% health. And a press, I guess you could say a press, comes in through top lane. Wave is here, and with the kill onto Rainer, it seems like the members of Die for Catgirls are going to back off, clear out their waves, and try and find some experience, as there is a solid level lead for the side of our blue team. I think a team wants to get this camp. Just maybe a team wants to get this camp. 189 stacks actually for the Nazebo. So Voodoo Ritual will be done when 20 Talontiers hit. I swear to God, if Nazebo doesn't take it at level 20, I'm going to be slightly tilted. It's honest to God. I had this is ages ago. I had a Storm League game where I know this is over 4 years ago because I was back in Detroit. I will never forget this game. I was playing Storm League, and Nazebo, he was like on pace. He was getting really good stacks, and we get to level 20, and he takes the upgrade on Gargantuan, and I literally would just like, I wanted to just slam my head through a wall. I was like, why? Why would you take the upgrade on Gargantuan when you're not behind at all on your stacks? But either way, it's a conversation for another time. Voodoo Ritual equals Vial Infection. I might be mispronouncing it, yeah. Voodoo Ritual is this one. Vial Infection is the level 20. Also, Judo, how you doing, friend? Yeah, the baseline is your Voodoo Ritual, but I believe Vial Infection is the level 20 upgrade. I think Cactus Ham is asking for someone to come over to them. I'm just seeing some pings here and there, because I believe we do have the vision set up for our blue team. We can actually look at Saint Terminator right now. Actually, let's jump onto the opposing side team. We kind of know that the blue team is sharking around somewhere in the jungle per se over here, and it's going to be a core 5 rotating here. And look at this. There's just a bush party waiting. If we actually jump over to that opposing side vision, I think they do see him come out from those bushes. Like, all right, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and grab ourselves a fort for bottom lane. There's no way we're getting this Punisher for top, so let's at least find some experience and, as I keep saying, parity. I need to get it off of that word. It's kind of not a crutch word, but it's a word I'm using a little more often than I'd like to. Regardless, camp coming in through top lane. Keep is going to be, I wouldn't say raced. Keep front gate is going to be burned down right now. 27 of the Skeletal Defenders grab. Sonic's Bro and E-Day are going to be hearthing back, and that's a decent pull. Gazlo does stick around here for a couple more autos, as well as a laser to get down that front gate. Fallen Shaman Camp working on the opposing side front gate in the Punisher lane. Frozen Punisher coming through. Gazlo and friends all hearthing back for the defense. Let's see what happens. Just pretend like I went Grenade Talent at level 16. Okay. Will do. Vial Infection, as I mentioned, is finished out by the Nazebo. 175 stacks are necessary for that, and it is an uncapped quest and benefit. Diablo Hellgate's in, but it's going to be, I think, a little too early. Actually, might have been the Punisher catch on to the May. Either way, Lightning Breath comes out. There's going to be so much damage, but in the end, Diablo goes down. That will be Souls reset on this Demon. Punisher is still wailing on the enemy team. Nazebo getting some decent damage out onto this Punisher. Keep itself is sitting just above 50% as the big red button's out as well. A lot of damage onto Mephisto, who dies to the damage over time of the Nazebo. The spiders chase onto Butte, but it's not going to be enough. Oh my god, I swear I thought I saw enough damage into Butte Holiday to get the kill right there, but nope, not going to be the case, and this will be disengaged from the side of Armature opponents. Keep doesn't go down. Bottom lane does have a catapult down here. What are we hitting for right now? 331, so 662 into structures. some aggressive lane pings coming out. I think the word he wants is compensation. I butt the word. Oh, you tried your best butt spot. Now that's a bot. Yeah, it's a very good bot. Butt spot is a staple of the stream, much like how Bandit's really the real reason people come around for this for my casts. We are just about 20 minutes in, and we are threatening a keep through bottom lane with this Gazlo and team. Slow but surely. Ooh, nice ice wall into 2. Blizzard does go out underneath. Big spread onto the weighted or the healing pathogen from the Stukov right before the engagement, and Diablo goes down. Sir Noble will be able to pop the cryo freeze, tanking shots from the keep itself. We do have Teeth tanking a little bit of damage as well, and with Diablo dead for 50-some seconds, there's a march to core to potentially end here on the side of Die for Catgirls. Nazebo getting some spiders out on the core, some those frogs as well. Damage over time is a big thing, and Tomb comes out from Leoric. No buried alive value. They actually went into that unyielding despair from the Spectral Leech. Raynor goes down. This is looking really good. Well, excuse me, it was looking really good for Catgirls, as the keep, or the core, will lose its shielding. The Hyperion actually gets about 7% off that core. Some Toads don't make it to core, and Sailor, Twift, and friends are considering this, throwing those spiders out once again. Terminator tanking a lot of damage, but healing up with that upgrade at level 20. Unfortunately, for the side of Die for Catgirls, they're not able to end, but they do get 7% off the enemy core. Mortar Punisher up and available through mid, and we are not done just yet, ladies and gentlemen. I thought we were going to march to core and end game, but not enough damage will be present, and we will see this map continue out. Leoric Wraithwalking onto the point is going to be actually dumping themselves right here. Commandeer Odin still out and available as the ice block will be used by Sailor Twift, popping the Entomb from Terminator as well. The camp in the end, I believe, went over to the side of our red team as Nazebo's traded out for Leoric. Shamhat getting very low. There is that Spectral Leech from Terminator, but it's only going to be stealing health, not actually dealing damage. And the Lightning Nova from Cactus Hand was enough to get the kill onto this Stukov, as I can't believe it, the Gazlo goes down. Sir Noble trying to find enough damage into Tychus or something. I just remember that I have to move the camera. We've been sitting there for so long. I had my hands on my head. I was like, okay, we are having an engagement. Terminator will be coming back soon, so I think Sir Noble is going to be like, look, I don't want a 2v1, albeit into a Diablo and Leoric, but I don't have enough health to have that 2v1 happen, so gonna back off, gonna reset, and it looks like both teams gonna be playing for our next shrine. It is going to be a Mortar Punisher. All right. So I was just drinking tea and looking at our 20s as well to see if I missed anything. Nothing crazy out of the ordinary. We do actually have the flash freeze for the May, so it's kind of same concept as the indestructible from the Joanna. Will auto proc if it does get to that. Well, if you get to that 0 threshold. Well, I guess just sub 0 threshold. I guess you get to 1 HP. You couldn't do it at 0 because then you'd die. That was close. It's actually a fairly close game. 233 stacks on the Nazebo. What's Nazebo just autoing for? 209, and then you have poison damage on top of that. After reaching 175 stacks of Voodoo Ritual, it can also be applied to heroes, and the damage is increased to 395 over 6 seconds. That's a lot of damage just from the, I believe, damage over time. And Tomb came out from Leoric. Sir Noble getting very low. Big Gravel Bomb coming out from Gazlo as well, and that will be a kill onto Diablo. Punisher still wailing its way through this mid lane. Sir Noble was considering to hearth out right there, but decides not to and continues to engage here, getting a massive ice wall out, but the follow-up damage is non-existent, mostly just slowing down the enemy team, and the keep still goes down. Big red button value from the Tychus does confirm the keep through mid. Top lane does have a Fallen Shaman and a Catapult right now. I keep harping on this, but it's a big thing to inform you all. 912 damage from these Catapult shots currently into structures, and in bottom lane, 4 Catapults have arrived to core. We will see Leoric clear this out before it gets much, if any, value. Should be a full kill on Diablo. It was. I might have misspoken and said there were souls. That's a possibility. That is very much a possibility, me misspeaking. Core attempt, the second one from the side of Die for Catgirls, it seems. Leorc is going to Wraith Walk away. Armature opponents finds the Durance of Hate connection onto 2 players. Mephisto getting a lot of the Mimic value at level 20 with that double Lightning Nova. Teeth on the Raynor is getting very low, and it is going to be the disengage from the side of our red team. We don't find a kill in the chase, even though there's just this constant chase. Mephisto. Stukov with a massive shove does come out, and I believe... Oh, actually, no. Oh, wait. Am I dumb? I thought Stukov actually had a further shove than they did, because basically if they shove for 1.25 seconds, which is not long, and here's the storm, you get you get a 5-second cooldown on your massive shove, but it didn't come through, which is really interesting. Anyways, maybe it was just shy of that 1 minute 25 or 1 second 25. Oh my god, 1.25 second mark. We'll have to see. But next Punisher, Arcane, will be through the top lane. If grabbed on the side of Die for Catgirls or red team, will threaten straight on to keep. Same thing could be said about Armature opponent. This could be the game-winning Punisher, realistically. I mean, they're hitting really hard in this late game. We'll have to check and see, once this Punisher spawns, how much it's actually hitting for. I, as always, like to just kind of harp and look at these catapults. Over 1,000 damage into structures right now from catapults. I'm liking the setup right now from either team. There's a win condition through mid on the side of Armature opponents, and a win condition through bottom lane on the side of Die for Catgirls. 23 up on both sides. Let's actually, you know, we've seen a lot of the talents, a lot of the questing stuff in the rhythm at level 4 for the Tychus. So I couldn't remember in the rhythm in the previous series as well, and I saw it and I was like, oh, let's go ahead and remind myself what that is. I could not remember throughout the game, but as promised, let's go ahead and cycle through those other numbers, get you an idea of what the damage, healing, and experience is looking like in this game. Number 1 and our second best of 3 of the day. Sorry, I had a small coughing fit, but we're good. I was just like, you know what? Let's just mute the mic, get this over with. We have a team fight coming up soon, and then I'll be unmuted for that one. And I'm double checking. Yes, I am unmuted. Alrighty. Arcane Punisher. Positional advantage does go over to the side of our red team. You can actually see the vision through our blue side for that hot second right there, and it did show that the Gazlo and friends were in top lane. Couple hearths coming out, but I think it was afraid of the backdoor potential. I'm just looking at the opposing side vision. Can I break things really quickly? There we go. Ooh, Leor coming in for a kind of a flank right now. The Diablo actually Shadow Charge? No, that worked out for them. I was going to say the Diablo Shadow Charge kind of screwed up Cactus Ham, but actually the Durance of Fate still connected on the back line, and that means no one's able to step up. The Orc will be traded out for Nazebo. Big red button out from the Tychus as E-Day is looking to Shadow Charge in. Does have full souls, does end up going down, so they have the instant back in from the Diablo. You can see that low death timer, phase shift in from the Brightwing onto the Mephisto, who's considering to step further forward. Sir Noble taking a lot of damage right now, pops the Cryo Freeze, does have that level 20 Flash Freeze as we mentioned, so keep that in mind. Once Mage drops a little too low, they will have that proc for them. What's the cooldown? Is that 2 minutes? No, it's a 3-minute cooldown. Dear Lord, did it actually go off? Am I crazy? No. Mephisto not taking the broken up alt grade at level 20 is confusing. I mean, the level 20 upgrade, I absolutely agree with you here. I've actually had a chance to Pirate Rum, an insanely strong Mephisto player that could potentially be drafted for Hero CCL. I really actually do. Like, caster bias aside, I really hope that Pirate Rum gets drafted for CCL. He's a really, really strong player. But their Mephisto play, we actually had Kyle Ferguson and Pirate Rum sit down and talk about Mephisto. And there was a bug at the time on the Durance of Hate, so they did discuss that a little bit. But he was mentioning that, like, Mimic has very unique value, and it just depends on the situation. Yes, the I forget the 20 talent tier upgrade name for the Durance of Hate, but it is really, really, really strong. You have a silence and a blind, if I'm not mistaken, at the end of your at the end of everything or something like that. So it's just a really, really good wombo follow up. The big thing with Mimic value is just the amount of damage you can dump out. I actually learned this from the video that Pirate was mentioning, and I've actually done this myself, and it actually it's insane. Shade of Mephisto, so basically when you pop your Shade of Mephisto and you do the Lightning Nova, your origin point has a Lightning Nova as well, as you're seeing right here, and you can actually basically self-cast your, you can self-cast the Shade of Mephisto and then do the Lightning Nova. So you actually have overstacked Lightning Novas, and it actually gets an insane amount of single target damage. But in the end, my spiel kind of took a little bit too much time, and that will be the game going over to the side of amateur opponents. GG, well played. Oops. Oh yeah, Day, you're more than welcome to link the video. Absolutely, Day. Selenix, thanks for the follow. See Lunix? Plus faster resets too? Absolutely, absolutely. I agree though, like the 20 talent tier upgrade on Mephisto is very good for the Durance of Hate, but at the same time, Mimic is pretty good. I wouldn't say just as good, but Mimic has a lot of value as well. I don't disagree whatsoever with the way that Cactus Ham played this. I mean, Cactus Ham had just a casual 80,000 on this Mephisto. I do gotta say, Sonic's bro in this this Tychus was really, really strong. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get on into our next game. We do have Halo stuff coming up next, and I don't want to hold people up, so let's go ahead and jump on into this next game. Did they take the Q collusion on what? C-Lunks. Ah, C-Lunks. Okay, sorry. Never sure. C-Butts. Buttsbot. Oh, Buttsbot. You are perfect, my friend. All right, everybody. So the score will go up 1 for the side of amateur opponents. And let's get into our next map, everybody. I am going to take this time really quickly to run to the bathroom. I did not do that before this best of 3, and it is I had to run to the bathroom during that game. So we're going to do that now before we get into the next game here, and let's go ahead and I'll see you all in like 30 or so seconds. So enjoy an ad.
You could give the best hugs. You could give the best hugs.
I couldn't run to the bathroom last game, so now no. Oh, all right. Also, I've been trying to do this once per stream. Let's give it a shot right now. Are there any Twitch primers in chat? Any Twitch primers? They want to feed Bandit really quickly, you know? I did it one stream and someone was like, "Oh, I have my Amazon Prime. Here you go, Bahamut." And I'm like, "Oh, it worked." Oh man, I'm all out of fluids. All right, well, we're gonna cast this game, and then if we go into a game 3, I'll get a beer. If we don't, I'll go get a beer. All right. Give me your Twitch Primes. Feed my dog. I have to go buy him food tomorrow. I have to go buy a 20-some pound bag of food. Oh, ew, Raz, ew. Best boy Bandit. Indeed, he's a very good boy. I love whatever music track is currently playing right now. I use the Heroes of the Storm OST, so it is a Heroes of the Storm song. I'm low on dog food as well. Yeah, I really need to go to the store. The local store actually has a really good deal where if you buy like 13 bags through the store, or you buy 12 bags, your 13th is free. And I actually did the cost comparison. You technically can save money through Amazon, but you save more money going to the local store. Like, you end up saving like $20 in comparison. Redeem the Bandit Pets. I'd love to know exactly which song. I am 1 hour 30 minutes into the track. I wish I knew the answer. I'm sorry. Also, while I ran to the bathroom, AT Selt and Crazy Sin 96. Thank you for the follows, my friends. I do see that we have a bandit pet, so let's go ahead and do that really quickly. Oh yeah, you good boy. So I don't know if, okay, we'll get into the game in just a second, but I don't know if anyone notices it, but if you scratch Bandit's, his wingding, I guess, his back leg, like where I was scratching, he'll always slowly but surely stretch that leg out and like make it as like he'll like almost like just stretch the leg out as far as he possibly can. It's very, it's adorable. My dog does the same. It's my favorite thing to do. Like if he's laying on the couch all curled up, I'm just like that one thigh. I'll sit there and scratch it and he just stretches his leg out. It's adorable. Okay, I'm okay with that. My two biggest dislikes is when packing order is cat litter and a 20 Oh my god, ew. Ew, no. Go to the store and buy your own cat litter, everybody. It's weird how much stuff is like ordered through Amazon. I try not to order too much. Fun fact, dogs evolve muscles in their eyes and brows specifically to appeal to humans. Research papers exist. Oh, that's really interesting. There's actually a research paper that came out. They were like, dogs can be jealous. And I'm like, have you owned a dog? Everyone knows that. Like, they're just like, jealousy is a prevalent thing within dogs, and we've been doing research. I'm like, you don't need to do a research paper about that. Everyone knows dogs get jealous. Put Bandit and Copper in the same room together, and those two dogs will fight over the same bone that neither of them care about. But it's because they're both in that same room that now they care. Or like, I'll be petting Copper, and Bandit comes over. He's like, what about pets for me? They have to make a strict research to prove it. I mean, that's true, that's true, that's true. All right, let's get into the game, everybody. I have delayed out long enough. Let's go ahead and find out. Do we go to a game 3, or will this be a 2-0? On the left-hand side, we have the members of Amateur Opponents. Terminator, Saint Terminator, as I like to say, is going to be on the Chen. Ooh, nice. Cactus Ham will be on the Sylvanas. We've got E-Day on the May. Butte Holiday will be on the White Mane, and Sonics Bro on the, not White Mane, Maev. For a hot second, I thought it was Illidan, but it's not. On the right-hand side, we have the members of Die for Catgirls, trying to take us to a game number 3 through, excuse me, Volskaya Foundry. Sir Noble will be on the Varian. Teeth is going to be on the Tassadar. Shamhat's going to be on that Stukov Sailor Twift. Will be on the Chromie, and Scathar, I believe is the way you say that, is going to be on the Deathwing. Cool drafts coming into our Volskaya Foundry map. Looking at some level 1s, we are going to be seeing the static charge for the Tassadar. Sorry, I was trying to remember the talent off the top of my head because it's Shock Ray, but my brain kept going, it's not Shock Ray, it's not Shock Ray. Don't say Shock Ray. This is technically double mage for the side of Die for Catgirls. We'll see how that works out for them. A lot of good dive and blow up potential coming out from Amateur Opponents through the Chen, as well as the Maev, the Mei as well, and also a lot of zoning potential, a lot of control tools to make sure that Butte Holiday on this White Mane isn't going to get dove on too hard. You got the icing from E-Day, you've got Blizzard as well from that hero, Umbral Bind from Sonic's Bro. At level 10, you have a potential mind control. You've got kicks and potential Wandering Keg from Saint Terminator. So a lot of good tools and utility here for the preservation of this White Mane healer. On the opposing side, you got some nice force walls that could lock people in to set up Deathwing. Stukov has some lurking arms. Virulent reaction. There we go. At level 13 is a possibility for Stukov, but also a great way to set up Chromie for some big burst along with the Tassadar. So we'll have to see if the members of Die for Catgirls can get that setup. And of course, I'm missing the most obvious setup. Taunt, excuse me, Taunt from the Varian My throat dried out halfway through that word. But Taunt from Varian is another amazing setup for the 1-2 punch of the Chromie and Tassadar. But that communication has to be there. That actually has to land. We'll see if that'll be the case. And we will continue into rotations looking for level 4s. And we'll get to control point A here in roughly a minute and 20-some seconds. Until then, as I said, rotations are prevalent. Rotations are key. And slowly but surely finding 7 talent here is the goal for these teams. That's often the level that we see just as the objective phase pops up, or if not, during the objective phase itself. Sorry, I'm skimming chat really quickly, but I can hear the team fight happening, so I have to come back into the game as Cactus Ham does go down from the taunt of Sir Noble. Is there a trade? Oh, the time trap from Chromie! Saving themselves as well as Sir Noble. I feel like Sonic Bro would have had the insane Fan and Knife reset and then just the mobility to disengage. Chen actually jumping out to go ahead and just sit there and wail on this Deathwing with the flying kick. I actually love that you flying kick beyond them, and look at this Chen like chunking into the Deathwing right now, actually making this Deathwing's life a little bit difficult. Increase the ignited damage by 20%. Basic attacks against heroes who are ignited increase the. Oh, very cool. Okay, so that's the. I was wondering how we were chunking so quickly with that, but there you go. Increased damage from being ignited. We have confirmed that water is wet and Arthas is bad. Wait a minute. How are... Oh, boy. Or are you saying Arthas is bad, like bad as in like a bad person? Or are you saying he's bad as a hero? Poor Arthas. Poor Arthas, always getting dogged on. Deathwing was dead when he got near the XP... Oh, okay. Baja turned Artanis into Arthas. Ah, sorry, I literally read Arthas. Sorry about that. Dyslexia is kicking in apparently today. A buttness. A buttness! Oh my god, yes. Sorry, I don't know. I completely read Arthas. Like, I'm looking at it right now and I see that it's Artanis, but I don't know how. All right, well, I do know how. My brain changed words around, or letters around, because dyslexia is fun. Anyways, fortification camp on the left-hand side to be grabbed. Sylvanas is going to be going into, or did grab at level 7, the Possession, or the Mercenary Queen. Not Possession, excuse me, the Mercenary Queen. So she's able to buff out, obviously, the minion waves. You did see a little bit through this top lane, but it also does count for the fortification camps as well. Does not count for the biotic emitters. The biotic emitters do not get amplified by the Sylvanas value. That is a fact that I do want to mention to all of you. But control point A goes over to the side of amateur opponents for now, 75% and rising. Can the members of Die for Catgirls find their way onto this point, or is it going to be first Triglav Protector ripped easily by the members of our blue team? Let's go ahead and cycle through the other numbers. We've seen what some of the talents are, and there's going to be our first Triglav Protector. What's the game plan from the side of amateur opponents? I'd never say Arthas is bad. Jinxie might be watching, and she... No. I mean, I like, you could say Arthas is bad as in like he's a bad guy. I honestly thought that's what you're getting at. Like, I thought you were saying like water's wet, Arthas is bad as in like a bad dude. You trolled with your level 1, please no flame. All right, let's all talk about Butte Holiday's level 1 and very much dive into this extremely deep. He was a baddie in the Wrath of the Lich King. Yeah, no, please, I cry. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine. I honest to God, I don't know enough about Whitemane to really talk in depth about what I would consider a good or bad build from her. Support heroes are probably the least knowledgeable hero group in the game for me. Like, I can talk about Deckard and Stukov and Ana and Lucio, there we go. I was like, there's another healer that I can talk about fairly well, but like when we get into some of the other ones, like Lily right now, I'm not too confident talking about like a good build for her. Same thing for Whitemane as well. But either way, we are going to continue into this engagement. This is going to be a lot of damage onto the Tassadar, who does go down. We do have a very low Sailor Twift. Scathar is doing a great job of zoning back the enemy team. I'm actually going to stick down here. Does the kill come through? No, actually not. Meanwhile, over in the top lane, Sir Noble gets kicked and they go down. A secondary kill for the side of our blue team. Amateur opponents racking up the kills, racking up the experiences. They are post 10, and Terminator, DM me after the game. I'd like to talk about your level 10 choice here. I know, chat. I know that you can sit there and you can tank a buttload of damage. You can fill your entire health bar with damage over time from your stagger, and then you can pop the Storm Within Fire and mitigate all that damage. I understand that, but Keg goes burr. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Keg goes burr. Varian did go into the Warbringer at level 10, so they're going to be able to charge to friendly members, and they also have, like, I believe it's like a 4-second cooldown on charge itself. I think it's 12 baseline. You get 8 seconds off of it with this level 10. Big chunk onto Cactus Ham. They're going to go down. Wonderful setup from the Stukov as well. Unfortunately, there's no one to be able to catch E-Day here as the Ice Wall came out from May and slows things down. Deathwing will be Bellowing Roar. We have Slowing Sands already for the Chromie. We've had that for a little bit. Tassadar Archon form and Massive Shove for the Stukov. Do want to note here, we do have Containment Disc for the Maiev, so that's going to be a nice pickup for them, just going to shut down one player from the fight, but it also means that they're not going to be able to have their vision for a few seconds after that Containment Disc ending. Also to note, we have the Ruthless Spirit, so this is a little bit of an adjustment, I do believe, for the Maiev here. Each enemy here hit by Spirit of Vengeance increases all damage Maiev deals by 15% for 4 seconds, stacking up to 30, so essentially you get 2 stacks of that. I don't feel like I see that talent too often. I feel like it's like a Loon's Wrath. I think that's level 7. Where basically if you hit 2 or more heroes with your Fan of Knives, you get that little Starfall damage. I feel like I see that a lot more often. Saint Terminator going to go ahead and drop the Storm Within Fire as the friendly team has rotated down here. Dive goes out onto Sir Noble. White Mane going to Giggle Beam onto this Varian as the Ice Wall comes out, stopping the Deathwing. There's going to be a Force Wall from the Tassadar in front of that, and a couple heroics popped here. That's a 2-minute cooldown. Meanwhile, in top lane, no priority onto the objective phase just yet. It's still counting in, but we are going to be having this top lane fort getting besieged by the few members up here, and this, with the camp, might actually just take it down. Besieged? Is that the right term? I think that's the right term. Teeth is going to go ahead and pop that Archon form. Gonna try and turn this fight around. Silence goes out onto Butte Holiday, who's just taking so much damage, but Butte has dropped the Divine Reckoning after 1 second consecrate an area for 4 seconds, dealing 83 damage every 0.5 seconds to enemies inside. 25% of the damage dealt to heroes is returned as mana. I cannot believe somehow, some way, this was able to preserve and keep the White Mane up and available, and that'll be a double kill in the end for the side of Amateur opponent, looking like they're gonna be able to grab themselves a Triglav Protector, but death timers are low. I would expect that the side of Die for Catgirls should be able to step back onto this and team fight over this potentially. White Mane though, yes, exactly. I didn't see the Panda Pals coming. I'm a little disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. I would consider Keg for boss control points. My whole big thing is, like, you've got a lot of really good single target damage if you can split the enemy team, and I think you can do that very well with a Wandering Keg Chen. But I get you too. I mean, it's playstyle, it's personal choice. I absolutely get that. I've always been a fan of Keg, so I'll always go Keg. It's like for the longest time, I've always loved Leap, and people were like, you gotta go Wrath of Berserker though, like damage and cooldown and CC reduction, blah blah blah. And then we get CCL players taking Leap constantly. And now it's like, that's at the forefront of our meta. That's the priority consistently, is just Leap over Wrath now. And it's like, man, I've been screaming about this for ages. But yeah, anyways, we do have the Ice Wall out from the May. Deathwing's going to be landing with that Death Drop as well. Cryo Freeze used by the, no. Why did Varian, like, ice up for a second? That was confusing. Maybe I misread. Maybe there was a Cryo Freeze from the May or something like that. But it was very, very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, Chromie does get picked off as well. Triglav Protector's up and available. Sonic is going to be able to grab that. We do have Butte trying to jump in here as well, and it could be keep through top lane for the side of Amateur opponent. Man, Kaleo... I played Trait Orphea before Fan discovered her, and after that everyone played... Yeah, exactly. I know that feeling. I know that feeling. You're just like... Everyone, look, I know this is good, and no one plays it because everyone considers it non-meta, and they're like, shut up! And then, like, someone of note plays it, and they're like, it's the best! Yeah, I know exactly, yeah. Bahamut, a caster, recommending a talent, it's trash. Every CCL player playing with that talent now. Oh, it's good. It's good. Icewall comes out from the Mei, but it won't be able to save the Sylvanas. The Trigger Protector getting chunked right now, not able to solidify the keep through the top lane. And this is a disengage through this mid. This is a little risky of a disengage rotation, though, in my opinion. Yeah, there you go. Deathwing is going to actually be a target of a jump. Not really looking to get the damage out, more so just to trying to get away from the enemy team. Slowing Sands, Bellowing Roar, everything thrown onto this enemy team. Butte Holiday is just going to be able to live through all of this with a Divine Reckoning. I cannot believe the value. Containment Disc, I believe, went out, but it didn't connect onto anyone of the enemy team. Maiev comes back into the backline. Actually, no, they don't pop the Spirit of Vengeance, and Whitemane does go down, staggering out of death after the Sylvanas, but keeping top lane did lose quite a bit of health, and we could see a re-engage onto that at some point. Taunt goes out, a lot of burst damage onto Terminator. You can see that's that damage over time as I was talking about. Storm Earth and Fire's up and available, but Chen's going to drink through the pain and probably Hearth out for full health, or maybe just get a little bit of healing from Whitemane, who's up in about 20 seconds. I don't care what's meta. What meta is, those builds only really matter at the highest level, otherwise it works best with your skill. I agree with that, yeah, exactly. Re-engage over the objective, or not objective, over the fortification camp is going to yield a double kill. I can't actually believe that a 4v5 worked out this well. Containment Disc does go out onto the very end. Deathwing coming down from the top, but I don't think Deathwing you're going to be able to do too much. You got a stun out right there, but in the end, Chen finds the last little smack, and this will be a lot of pings around the map. Seems like a little bit of split decision-making, probably from the side of Armature opponents. Will be able to grab themselves this camp through the bottom lane, and I would actually expect the death timers are kind of low, but you could maybe rush the Sylvanas and friends up to top lane and try and take that fort, or that keep. Right now, though, the priority will be through bottom lane, as Control Point C, Triglav Protector will be up in just a few moments. Sylvanas not able to lock down the towers just yet. I believe she used the Black Arrows not too long ago, but it's not long of a cooldown. It's going to be 15 seconds onto that. 18 to 15 in our levels, 11 to 4 in kills, and this is a map in favor for the side of Armature opponents, controlling everything and continuing their rotations, and I would say fairly good dominance consistently throughout this map. Buttspot always tries its best. Buttspot tries. What do you consider high level to mid? What do you consider high level is? Mid, high, diamond? Not high. I don't know. I don't know what I would consider high level personally for myself. I would probably say diamond plus. I'd probably say diamond plus. Anyway, Sir Noble is going to be getting a lot of help from the Deathwing, but they're getting chunked quite a bit, and that will be varying going down. The fortification, excuse me, the Biotic Emitter, I believe was grabbed by the side of Armature opponents and then immediately used by them as well. They also dropped that fortification camp in the lane oh my god, in the camp. I don't know why I couldn't say that sentence. Some pinks coming out. Cactus Sam should have their Black Arrows up and available again, if I'm not mistaken. I can actually check that right here. They do have them, so they could lock down this tower and just go for a keep through top lane, then move into bottom lane to be able to get the Triglav Protector. And this is a really good strategy if you're able to utilize it. What ends up happening is you can play bottom lane so very slow, stalling things out, because what ends up happening is you have consistent catapult pressure pushing through a lane to potentially end the game for you. But right now, keep does go down through top. Camp is pretty good, but it doesn't yield enough of a advantage for the side of Armature opponents for them to stay and potentially push in through that top lane to end game. Wait, is the CCL draft this Friday? No, the CCL draft is this Saturday. Saturday, April 17th, 1 o'clock PDT, 4 o'clock EDT, 10 p.m. CEST. I will be your host. Grubby will be joining me with McIntyre as well. As I said, Saturday. Tomorrow afternoon, I will be casting an ARAM tournament over on Jay McGee's channel. We may do some casting earlier in the day, just really depends on how productive I'm feeling and, well, how up to a bunch of casting I am. Because we do have 2 best of 3s and a best of 5 for that ARAM tournament. So that's a lot of casting in itself right there. But this is going to be the kill onto Varian as well as Deathwing before the Cataclysm can be utilized. Shamhat's going to try and back off right now, getting chunked, as that will be, in the end, a quad kill for the side of our blue team. Armature opponents, they have a camp pushing in through top lane with a catapult, and it looks like they could potentially end off of this. Going to take the quick rotation underneath the tower, tanking shots with E-Day right now. Cactus Sam actually gets dismounted, but it's not that big of a deal. Tacit Rockstar was trying to push out top lane a little bit, but in the end, it's going to be Cactus Ham and team trying to end the game here. Can they actually do it? Death timers are kind of low. 20 talent tier was achieved by our blue side. Amateur opponents going for core right now. Going to start opening things up on that shielding. Camp is going to be here as well. Sylvanas wants to try and maybe stay in range of this camp so that way they do get that buff and auto. Oh, no, they're actually going to go ahead and just drop the fortification camp, sidestepping the shots out from the core itself. You see a giggle beam from White Main containment disc onto the Deathwing, and that's game. Over to the side of amateur opponents, they take the series in a 2-0 fashion. Well, hello from Brazil, I believe is what you're saying right there. Shaman, how you doing? Thank you, I appreciate it. Hey, Stark, what's up, bud? Saturdays when things happen. No worries, Jow. No worries, no worries. I understand. Highest level is the highest level you can achieve. So GM 420? I actually brought up that clip earlier, Stark. I was mentioning that clip earlier. All right,